get started. Hey guys, and welcome to Adventure Prone 4x4. So, on today's episode, we are going to be installing a new catch can. We got rid of the HPD catch can a little while ago. It wasn't delivering results. It was delivering results. It wasn't delivering good results. And I got rid of it and have decided to replace it with a Provent 200 from Mann Hummel, purchased from AE Co, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I will leave links in the description below to both the product and AE Co. But for now, let's jump in and have a look at what's in the box for the new one. So, in the box, these guys actually threw in a couple of stubby coolers as well. So I've been through and had a bit of a muck around with everything, just so I could know what I'm up for. But essentially it comes with these restrictors, those little hose pieces. Comes with all the clamps that you need, the brackets as well, which can be adjusted using this little piece just down there, that pipe that connects to the bottom. That's actually like that's a way to drain it. So I will have to hook up a system for that to make it easy. So I'll probably end up dumping that in the wheel arch so that I can easily get a cup in there and tip it out into the cup. But like I said, it comes with restrictors, all the bolts and whatnot that you needed. Now the kicker to the AE Co bundle is this right here. This is the mounting bracket that actually holds the catch can. Now this is really important. This is pretty well the only reason I bought this from AE Co. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right, because I'm going to sound like an idiot for an entire video if I'm not, but this actually mounts to the intercooler. That is for the intercooler pipe, and that just that kind of sits in between the intercooler mounts. Now I'm going to show you guys why this makes such a difference to the catch can setup. So the old catch can used to sit there, right in between the fuel filter and the airbox. Now that was okay, other than the fact that that's actually where like secondary fuel filters often go. Obviously because it's nice and close to the original fuel filter. So it's in a really annoying spot, and to actually try and get it off and to check it, it was always a bit of a nuisance. So the new one actually mounts in between that bolt and the bolt up the back. Like I said, that's going to leave me heaps more room to put a secondary fuel filter in when I get there. Hey guys, just quickly rolling through a little bit of footage here and doing a bit of editing. Now, just wanted to say that another reason why you should definitely check out AECO's website if you're looking at a catch can, and you should be looking at a catch can if you have a modern diesel. If you have a D22 Navara, you should be looking at one. And when you go looking, definitely check out AECO's website. That bracket, one thing that I didn't mention in the filming here that I originally took was that the bracket costs nothing by the time that you put it in the rest of the kit. You pay about $390 for the Provent kit, hoses, hose fittings, hose clamps, all that kind of get up, and you get the bracket as well for $390. Most other places are kind of selling a universal brackety kind of looking thing for about $400. So by the time that you're paying the same, like you pay the same money, you might as well just get the AECO kit and get a hella awesome bracket. And really good service as well. I have been back and forthing with these guys a little bit. Really quick responses and really helpful service. So good mention in there for AECO as well. We jump in. A bit of a rundown on Mann Hummel as a company itself. So Mann Hummel, they're actually German. So these catch cans are German made, German engineered, German designed. And in this case, sorry, but the Germans did it better. The HPD can was a total blowout. Founded in 1940, I believe, and they've been doing heaps of stuff like this. They've got catch cans, they do filters, jumping around on their website, they do heaps of stuff. So these guys know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, and I trust them. Now to install it. So first up, as I mentioned, you want to put this hella awesome bracket in, which did I mention that you can only get this from AECO. This is not something that you can that is made by Provent for the D22s. This is specifically made for the D22 Navaras, the YD25 obviously, because the ZD30s don't have intercoolers from factory. But this is specifically made for the D22 Navara, the YD25, by AECO. So you cannot get this anywhere else. There goes my speaker. You can't get this anywhere else, which is why I bought it from AECO. So to begin with, I'm just going to quickly get rid of those 2 bolts that hold the intercooler in place, one at the front, one at the back, remembering this is on the passenger side, because that is where this is all going to mount. So I'm going to do that now. Now I'm just going to undo one of the pipes, just to loosen it off, so that I can easily get that up high enough to slot this bracket in. So I've just lifted that up a little bit. What I'm going to do now is just slide the bracket in underneath. That's that side done. You'll just have to excuse my shoulder. And so now I'm just going to go through and put those bolts back in. Now, so this is also an instruction sheet that was sent by AECO. So we are going to follow this. And just a quick run through as well before you bolt this on. This is I've already put everything together, ready to go. This is how it should be. So you've got those reducers, down from this size down to, for the Navara, it's a 16mm. You've got hose clamps on each side of that, obviously. You've got these little L joiners, one going down, one going up. I'm actually going to angle this one that way, so that it's kind of sitting like that as opposed to like that. Okay, so it kind of fits in. I have just kind of pushed out, I think that's part of the cooling system. There's just a hose there. Just kind of bent it out of the way a little bit so that I can fit it in. I'm just going to put the bolts in and mount this thing up. I love when stuff goes as easy as it should. That was super easy. I'm just going to show you guys here. I've actually gone through and bolted it up. Now I am yet to actually tighten those, but that's something that I'll do now. You guys don't need to see that. It's literally just bolting it in. So I'm going to hook up the hoses now. Cool. So I've gone through and just done up all the hoses. That's everything tightened up. If I can make one recommendation, please take your hose, the original PCV hose, off before you put the catch can on. I did have to take that off in between filming to take the hose off and cut the right lengths of hose. So if I can make one recommendation, it would be to take your PCV hose off, cut your pipe lengths before you bolt that can on. It's not a big deal, it didn't take me long to redo. It's not a stressful job, but it's just something for you guys, just to save a little bit of time. Make sure you take those things off first. And so basically that's the brunt of it done. Now that's not the end of the video. So I can pretty well put the lid on and start the car up now. I will go through and just make sure that that hose on the bottom end, that is just for you to let the oil out. I'm just going to go through and make sure that I put that at a convenient spot. I'll show you guys where I put that in a second. But I do want to talk about the catch can's filter element. So that is what is going to be going through and catching, or that's what the oil is going to be going through, and that's what's going to catch it. So it's actually like I don't know what you call it, but it's actually like a fibrous kind of filter as opposed to like a colander, which is what the HPD was. It was a glorified colander for gas, oils, things like that. So this is going to catch a lot more, hopefully. Like I said, their test results have proven that this is going to catch a lot more than the HPD, but like I said, I'm much happy with these. Now, these do have to be changed every 40,000 is what's recommended. I'll probably change mine every 20. That's once a year. That's not a big deal. They are $80 plus postage probably, but they're, like I said, only $80. If you do it once a year, you're doing it twice as regularly as what they tell you to. That's going by the average of 20,000 kilometers per year, but I'm much happier with that than what I was with the HPD. So, and it's as easy as just plugging it in, and that's it back in. On goes the lid, and that's it. It's as simple as that. So now, as for the little drain plug, I've got that running, it's not going to focus, there we are. I've got that running down through here. That's got plenty of wiggle room as well, so that if anything's moving around, it's not gonna pull off. I've actually used 2 zip ties to just hold that in place down there. Now that's actually sitting off the chassis rail as well. So all I've got to do is just put a cup underneath that, flip the switch, and that's actually going to pour out for me. Now I've got it facing that way, I've got it facing towards the rear of the car as well, so it's not going to be so prone to getting mud and dust and whatnot into the actual nozzle. So I think that's worked out really well. It's also not going to get in the way when I go to put those inner guards back in, that stops or any kind of dust or mud or anything getting too far into the engine bay. So I've got those lying around somewhere. I think they're underneath. Yeah, they're underneath all that. So when I go to put those back up inside the wheel arch, it's not going to get in the way there. And so just to recap everything, a couple of bolts hold that in, that slides in there. Make sure you go through and you tighten these up when you are done with them, if you did what I did and left them a little bit loose so that you could shift it. Do make sure you go through and tighten all that up. All of these are nice and tight. Is that tight? That is tight. So second guessing myself here, but everything's nice and tight. Looks really nice. The only thing I would say, if I could make a recommendation, is that it does make it a little bit harder to get into these hoses in here. For unknown reasons, I seem to be taking my intercooler off a lot lately, but I think that was more to do with my exhaust manifold than anything. But the other thing is that it does leave, I will zoom in there, it does leave this hose a little bit short because it spaces out. Now, it actually spaced out a fraction after I put my exhaust manifold on, so it's spaced out a little bit further. If I do have any issues, I will let you guys know, and I will be replacing that hose with a longer one if I have any dramas, but if not, I think it should hold up fine, really. It's only about 2 mil each side, so I'm not really worried about that. And so guys, it's as easy as that. It really is. Catch cans are a pretty easy, pretty reasonable thing to put in. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Like I said, I'm going to leave links to this particular catch can from AE Co. I'll leave a little bit of reading down there as well as to why I removed my HPD catch can. I'll leave the link to my video, which was a review on my catch can. I'm really happy with this. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. It's nice to kind of refresh and tidy up the engine bay again and get a catch can on. Haven't had a catch can for a couple of weeks because I took it off and got rid of it. So guys, that's pretty well it. Thank you for watching. If you liked that video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button so that you get a notification every time I post a video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well and Facebook, and I'll leave my Snapchat below as well so that you guys can keep up to date with what's going on and the latest. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.